Imagine you're heading to a big conference and you want to book meetings in advance. You find a list of speakers and attendees on the website, but reaching out to them one by one, that's way too time consuming. What if you could automate the entire process? Welcome to the Unify YouTube channel and our series, Outbound Plays. My name is Adara, and in each episode, I'm going to share one creative outbound strategy and how to completely automate it from start to finish. In today's video, we're going to use N8N and Unify to turn your conference prep into a hands-free outbound play. Let's get into it. So let's say we're going to this customer support summit in San Francisco. And as I'm preparing for my conference, I'm scrolling down and I see this list of past speakers. So we're going to want to run two plays here. First, we're going to want to reach out to all of these past speakers to see if they're actually going to this event again. And if so, we want to introduce them to our executive that's also going to be there. Exec connection. The second play we're going to run is we're going to outbound into all of these companies, two people with job titles in our ICP. In this case, it's customer success and customer support. And we're going to do that part completely automatic. We're not going to be doing any manual prospecting there. So as you can see, there's a lot of speakers and a lot of companies to outbound. So we're going to completely automate this flow, starting with N8N. N8N is a workflow builder. Unlike Zapier, it has a very high technical ceiling, and you can run parallel workflows, write custom JavaScript, and even build and run AI agents. We're going to use N8N to actually scrape the data that we need from this website. Lucky for us, N8N has a lot of templates we can use. So if you navigate to the product templates section of the website, you can pull up pre-built workflows that are going to save you a lot of time. So the template that we're going to use, you can find it if you type in Gina. Gina is one of the tools that is part of this template. And we're going to use this template here, AI-powered web scraping with Gina the easy way. So I actually want to quickly give a shout out to Derek, who built this template. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Charlie Barber, who used this template in a tutorial for a different use case that gave me this idea. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this template. And this is what it looks like. Essentially, this is an ETL flow: extract, transform, and load. Gina is going to be doing our extraction. Information extractor is actually going to be doing the transformation. And then this spit out is going to be doing the loading into our Google Sheets. So the first part of the workflow is going to use a product called Gina, specifically Gina Reader. You're going to want to create an account with Gina and also make sure you can grab your API key to set it up. What this reader does is it allows us to plug in any URL here, and then it extracts the contents of that URL and makes it LLM friendly text that we can then use in the rest of our workflows. So to set this up, all you have to do is put your URL in this section, the one you want to scrape. So we're going to take this one, and then we just grab this reader URL, and this is what we actually put into the Gina node under our GET request. Make sure that you also authenticate your header here with your API key for this request to work. Now that Gina has extracted our data, we're going to want to transform it into a shape that we can use for the rest of our workflow. So we're going to go ahead and open this information extractor node. And the thing we have to define here is the shape of the JSON object. We're basically telling it what we want it to look for. So if we take a look at the website, we basically want the person's name, we want their title, the company they work at, and this is important, we need their URL, the LinkedIn URL, because even if their email is not here, Unify is going to be able to take just their LinkedIn URL and enrich it and get the email for us. So here's the hack for defining the schema. Essentially, you can just take a screenshot of the website, go to Claude, put the file here, and prompt it to say, perfect. Thank you, Claude 3.7. Now all we have to do is copy paste this JSON, assuming it looks reasonable, and paste it into our information extractor here. Additionally, you can add a little bit of system prompting here. So I specified that we need to have name, job title, company name, and LinkedIn profile URL. As a second to last step, this split out node essentially takes the information that's been scraped and splits it out into the pieces that it's going to put into our Google Sheet for us to use. We can see this is an output object with a speakers array, and that there's speakers here with their name, position, company, profile URL, and LinkedIn URL, which is perfect. When you're building this, just make sure that the fields to split out actually reflect the schema or the shape of the information here. So your example might be different, but make sure it's output dot whatever the object is that you're scraping. Last but not least, we're going to save this to Google Sheets. So I already created a Google Sheets here, and I've run this before because I'm working on this tutorial, but just to show you a live example, we're gonna do a new sheet, sheet 5, connect this to your Google account, have this append row from the name of your Google Sheet, and then make sure you select the right sheet. So we're gonna do sheet 5. All right, that's our ETL workflow. We're gonna go ahead and run a test and watch it extract these leads for us live. All right, so if we look at our sheet 5, we see perfect. So we see the name, the position, the company, and the LinkedIn URL. So now all we have to do is export this to a CSV and upload this to Unify. So let's take a look at the Unify platform. Unify is an all-in-one platform for automating your most creative outbound ideas. The smartest teams at the fastest growing startups are using Unify today to automate their outbound plays and book literally hundreds of meetings a month and some even hundreds of meetings a week. Let's dive into the platform and see how we can automate our conference play. So here's the first thing we're going to see when we log into the platform. On the left-hand side here, we can see our nav bar is broken up into 3 main sections. The first section is the companies or people that we can outbound. The second are the outbound plays or automations that we can run. And the third section are dashboards, which show us our lagging and leading indicators, basically what's working and what's not working. So if you recall, for our conference play, we're going to run 2 automations. One is we want to invite all the speakers to meet with our executive for coffee. And 2 is we want to prospect into the accounts where they work to see if anyone else is going and to shoot our shot, book meetings with them in advance. So what we're going to do with the CSV that we just created is we're going to upload a CSV here. We're going to give this audience a name. We're going to turn email enrichment on, and then we're going to click upload and map the fields. I already did this, so I'm not going to repeat this part. But let's take a look at the first play to invite the executives. This is a play in Unify. It's essentially a workflow canvas where we can drag and drop all the nodes here on the left-hand side to create our automations. The first node here is a trigger node, which runs when a person enters our audience. In this case, our audience is going to be the people from the CSV that we just exported and imported into the platform. And then the second node is the sequence. So we're going to route them by persona. For our use case, they're all the same persona, but we're going to route them to a sequence, which looks like this. We're asking them if they're attending the conference again, and we're saying our CEO is going to be there. I'd love for you to meet her. Would love to treat you to coffee. Now, we defined a persona of customer success leads here in our Unify instance, which is basically senior folks that have the decision-making power. We also excluded folks that were at the analyst or intern or technician level. And what's great is that we can now use this persona object to filter out folks that we prospect at these accounts. Moving on to our prospecting play. So what this is going to do is it's going to take all of the companies that are in this audience, and at each company, it's going to prospect automatically for 3 people. And we're going to ask it to prospect only people with customer success lead titles. Finally, it's going to loop through each person, and then it's going to enroll them in the sequence that we intend for that persona. This is my favorite part of this play because it means we're prospecting at all of these accounts without having to do a single manual piece of work. We're getting reach at accounts that are highly likely to be there. And so this is still cold outbound, but it's very intelligently done cold outbound. Now, I'm not going to run this play because I don't want to actually send this email, but if we were to run this prospecting node, I did want to show you that it would look something like this. We basically went ahead and took a conference that we were going to. We identified the execs from the page. We used N8N to get their LinkedIn profiles at scale. We used Unify to enrich those profiles, get us the emails. And then we ran 2 plays where we sent the execs one email and we sent our prospects another email. That is how you automate conference prep with Unify. All right. I was so excited to share this play with you because now every single time you have to go to a conference, you can actually run this play and book meetings in advance and not have to lift a finger. I hope this video is helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you gave this play a try and how it worked for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the other videos in our Outbound Plays series for more creative plays that you can run to book meetings today. And last but not least, if you want to bring Unify to your company, click the book a demo link in the description below, and a product expert like me would be more than happy to meet and whiteboard how to bring your most creative outbound ideas to life. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.